ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। Hari Om, everybody. Today we are fourth day of Atmabodha class. So we'll just chant the shlokas what we have completed so far, first, second, and third. Together we'll chant. I may not listen to your voice, but we will chant. तपोभिक्षेण पापानां शान्तानां वीतरागिणां मुमुक्षूणामपेक्ष्योऽयम् आत्मबोधो विधीयते बोधोऽन्यसाधनेभ्यो हि साक्षान्मोक्षैकसाधनम् पाकस्य वह्निवत् ज्ञानम् विना मोक्षो न सिद्ध्यति अविरोधितया कर्म न विद्यां विनिवर्तयेत् विद्या विद्यां निहन्त्यैव तेजस्तिमिरसङ्घवत्. So Atmabodha, we saw the meaning of Atmabodha. So in the first verse, Bhagavan Shankaracharya speaks about sadhana chatushtaya sampanna, and also in the Arbandha chatushtayam also we saw. So for whom this text is written, it is meant for, that was told. Now Bhagavan says avidya is the moola karanam, ignorance is the root cause for all problems, and the direct means to annihilate avidya is jnana marga. So jnanam, there are so many sadhanas are there, but jnana is sakshat karanam. So sakshat mokshaika sadhanam is jnanam. How? Pakasya vahinivat jnanam vina moksho na siddhyati. Jnanam vina moksho na siddhyati. So jnanam is like pakasya vahinivat. Like fire is essential direct cause for cooking. Similarly, this avidya can be annihilated by the direct application of jnanam. This was told. So, avirodhitaya karma. Why jnanam alone is there useful in removing this avidya? Why can't any other thing, any other marga? Because it says avirodhitaya. There is no virodha between karma and avidya. Because we saw yesterday, avidya, kama, and karma. So karma is nothing but grandson of avidya, and therefore it is not possible for karma to remove avidya. This we saw yesterday. So vidya eva avidyam hanti nihanti. Vidya alone will destroy avidya. How? Tejaha timira sanghavat. Example is given. Just as the darkness is removed only by lighting the lamp, not by any other means. So to drive away the darkness, you do any other activity, sweeping the floor, collecting the darkness in the buckets and trying to throw it out. Whatever method you do, the darkness will not be removed. Just we have to light the lamp. This is what beautiful example given. Now we will enter into fourth shloka. Parichhinna iva jnanat, परिच्छिन्न इवा ज्ञानात् तन्नाशे सति केवलः, तन्नाशे सति केवलः, स्वयं प्रकाशते ह्यात्मा, स्वयं प्रकाशते ह्यात्मा, मेघापायेंशुमानिव, मेघापायेंशुमानिव. Now let us see this shloka, very beautiful shloka. Now, in the previous shloka, it was told that the karma cannot give moksha. And all sadhanas are karma only. You do bhakti, a part of karma. Upasana, part of karma. You do, in fact, any sadhana, all sadhanas come under karma only. So, karma, upasana, in karma, Ashtanga yoga, karma yoga, whatever yoga you practice. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya clearly said, karma cannot give you moksha, only jnanam. Now the question releases is that, tell me sir, why should we remove ignorance for getting moksha? That's the next question. Can we get moksha without removing the avidya? Is there any other pursuit? So here Shankaracharya says, first of all, what is samsara? Parichinnaha. This is a beautiful word. Why without removing avidya one cannot get moksha? Because avidya creates parichinnata. This is the important parichinna. So this parichinna bhav, not really there is this atma cannot. So parichinna bhava, the limitedness, sense of limitedness is caused by what? Avidya. See, beautiful thing. So what is the samsara? Samsara means a sense of limitation. Sense of limitation. Alpavyapi, alpashaktiman, alpajnaha. Everything is limited, 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 limited. This limited parichinnata is samsara. But essentially, when I inquire into myself, what I am or who am I, the sense of limitation is not real because it is a sense. Therefore, the sense of limitation, unless sense of limitation is removed, the cause for the sense of limitation is avidya. So therefore, the sense of limitation can be removed only by jnanam and not by any other yoga. So, parichinna iva ajnanat. So beautiful. So what is the problem of the jiva now? Jiva, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, iva shabda is prayoga. Iva means as though he is limited. As though one is limited. Parichinna iva is behaving, thinking. So we are thinking as a limited ones, behaving as a limited ones. So we accepted our limitation as though we are that limited ones only. So parichinna iva. Why then from where from this come? Parichinna bhava has come ajnanat. Ajnanat. So this because of ignorance, this parichinnata has come. And this parichinnata can go because iva is no, parichinna is not real. Parichinna is not, limitation is not real. So that means what? It is only an idea, notion that we are limited. A notion means what? A problem is apparent and not real. It's a notion. It's a notional problem. So for the notional problem, with that notion in you, What is that which can remove that notion, that limited notion? By going to Vaikunta, by going to Kailasha, by doing anything you do, when we do anything, our notion that we are limited can never go. Oh. So when I suppose, when I stand before a temple and I folded hands, and what did I do? But pray, Bhagavan, you are almighty, you are all pervading, I am Alpajnaha, Alpavyapi, मैं तो बहुत कम हूँ, I am very very limited individual, so therefore please bless me, you are mighty. We pray like that. That is good, it's okay. The prayer is allowed as long as the ajnana is powerful. Till the purification takes place, the prayers are all useful, beautiful, no doubt about it. We have to invoke the Ishvara's grace through prayer. But that sense of Ishvara, what will Ishvara will tell? Ishvara will send a guru. What the guru will tell? Guru will tell Tattvamasi. You are that. So therefore, this notion, wherever with that notion we go, we carry, anywhere we go, that notion will not end. That notion will end only through jnana. Very important. So I must only understand, realize, accept that, realize that I am infinity. Essentially, I am infinity. Only upon awakening this notion of limitedness, which is caused because of ajnana, will go away. Oh, beautiful thing. So, Mahabharata, not in main Mahabharata, some other stories are told by Mahatmas. Maybe it may exist in some other places, Puranas or anywhere, that after the Mahabharata war, Yudhishthira wanted a pilgrimage tour. So he said, Krishna, why don't you join me? So Bhagavan Krishna gave one Loki, one big gold bottle god was given to him. Loki, bottle god was given. He said, you please, as a representative, my representative, you please take this bottle god, and wherever you dip any tirtha, this also think that I am with you. You dip this bottle god also in the water. So Krishna's blessing, the bottle god did not get spoiled. After even so many months of pilgrimage tour, and after taking baths in so many places of tirthams, when Yudhishthira returned and Bhagavan Krishna was happy, you all successfully came. Then he said, Yudhishthira said, this Loki also, this bottle god also dipped in all tirthams. Bhagavan Krishna said, very good, thank you very much. Now cut this and give prasad. Cook and cook food and prasad everybody. And it seems that bottle gourd was so bitter, so bitter, so bitter that people could not eat. He was surprised. So Bhagavan Krishna told, it seems, that without the Antakarana Shuddhi, what an amount of physically you go and dip in many tirthams, unless inner parivartan, the inner change, inner knowledge is not kindled, so long it is not kindled. So therefore, as long as it is not kindled, so long we continue to suffer due to limitations. So friends, one sadhana is that essentially I am unlimited. I may behave as a limited person, but come back to original self. So parichinna iva ajnanat. Ajnanat, on account of ignorance, the jiva feels he is limited. He feels iva, as though he is limited. Tannashe sati kevalaha. And when that ajnana, avidya is destroyed, then immediately he will find himself that he is infinity, like pot space. The space in the pot, limited by the walls of the pot. When the walls of the pots are broken, the inner space immediately feels I am that infinite space. And there is no division in space. The earlier division was only in imagination. It is not real. This Avachedavada example was given in Shastras. Therefore, similarly, Ghatakasha Viliyate Mahakashe. Just as the pot space merges in the totality, when my consciousness also is not no more conditioned, deconditioned, when all the limitations are dropped, the consciousness in me at once feels that one with the totality, with absolute, then I become Kevalaha. Then Swayam Prakashate Yatma. So beautiful. And afterwards, then what happens when this Purnatvam is gained? Samsara is realized as Mithya. Therefore, on account of Ajnana, Parichinata has been experienced, but through Jnanam, this Parichinata limitation is being removed. So, therefore, what happens? Immediately, Swayam Prakashate Kyatma. Beautiful. So, what is some what do you call samsara? What is ajnanam? Limitation, sense of limitation. That's why Bhagavan Krishna says, no, apuryamanam achala pratishtam samudrama pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sasanti mapnoti na kama kami. So beautiful. That means what? Once this apuryamanam, that water is filled with from all four sides, achala pratishtam, and wonderfully seated there without any wavering, without any sense of limitations and etc. movement. Samudram, samudra is full. Apaha, pravishanti, all the waters of rivers and continuously enter into the ocean, but ocean never becomes bigger, ocean never becomes smaller, or because water is entering, ocean never takes a bigger size, it remains still, it remains as it is, it remains full. Similarly, in a man of realization, whatever enters, that all the limitations, nothing can make me, no addition can make me full, can and no subtraction from me make me limited. That experience is called Brahma Vastu. So now what is happening now? Example is given by Shankaracharya. A beautiful example is given. What is that he says? Megha paye amshumaniva. How do you feel? Swayam prakashate atma. That iva shabda is used. A limitation is only a feeling. So beautiful example is given. When the clouds are removed, the sun which has been clouded by the clouds, covered by the clouds, swayam prakashate. How? See, this was, what is the cloud here? Ajnana. So Ajnana Rupi cloud, which is covering my essential divine nature. Ajnana Rupi Megha, which is covering my Swayam Prakasha Atma, is removed. How? By the winds. The clouds are there, clouds are gone. How did they go? By the winds. So powerful wind came and the clouds are shattered. How? What kind of wind it is now? In our example we take, in our sadhana, Akanda Brahmakara Vritti. Through Shastra Abhyasa, Akanda Brahmakara Vritti Rupi, Vayuhu, breeze, wind, when removes the Ajnana Rupi Megaha, the cloud which is the ignorance which is in the form of a cloud, it is a cloud of ignorance. If it is removed, then what happens? The Akanda Brahmakara Vritti, or the wind, is not creating the sun. The already existing sun, Swayam Prakashate, he comes forth and illumines and shines. Anshu. Anshu means rays. Anshuman, one who has rays. So Anshuman Iva, the Surya Narayana, appears in his own glory when the clouds are removed. So therefore, in this shloka, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, see, unless and until we remove the sense of limitation which is caused by Ajnana, there is no respite for us from all the problems of samsara. This is the beautiful shloka Bhagavan Shankaracharya explains. Now we will go to 5th verse. Ajnana-kalusham jivam ज्ञानाभ्यासात् विनिर्मलम् ज्ञानाभ्यासात् विनिर्मलम् कृत्वा ज्ञानं स्वयं नश्येत् कृत्वा ज्ञानं स्वयं नश्येत् जलं कतकरेणुवत् जलं कतकरेणुवत्. In fact, examples Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji gives, my friends, I tell you, the brilliant examples. We are not certifying that he is brilliant, but these examples are enough to, because in Shastra when we study deeply, the whatever happens through Shastra, how the description and explanation given in Shastras, the phenomenon inside whatever happens, beautifully pointed out by examples. Now, Bhagwan Shankaracharya says that Jivam, this Jiva, Jiva is what? Individual. Parichannaiva, the one who is feeling is limited. Alpajnaha, Alpavyapi, Alpashaktiman, Samsari, Sukhi, Dukhi, Jivaha, individual. In short, you and I. You I cannot say I, because you may get angry when I say you. So you may have realized we don't know. So what I am. So aham, that ajnana kalusham jivam. So jiva who is muddied, sullied by ajnana, confused by ajnana. And जीवम, such a जीवम अज्ञान से कलुषित हुआ जीव, meaning मलिनीभूतम. मलिनीभूत means completely muddied with what? Raga dvesha ityadi, some that in further will tell, impurities. Kalushitam jivam. And how does he become pure? Jnana abhyasat vinirmalam. He becomes extraordinarily pure, like crystal clear, we say, like spatikavat. By what? Jnana abhyasat. So this shloka is very beautiful shloka. See, listen, friends. We are not creating any consciousness or Atma, it is already existing. Okay. Now there is Ajnanam. Ajnana, Sarupa. I said Sarupa Jnanam is there, everybody knows I am, but everybody doesn't know that I am Brahman, I am Purnaha, I am Anandaha, I am Sarvavyapi. That I don't know. I know I am Sukhi, Dukhi, Samsari, limited. This is what my feeling is. This is Ajnana. Parichinnata is the feeling of limitation, limitedness due to avidya. Now see, listen carefully. This avidya is in a thought. It is, where is it avidya? In the form of what? In the form of thought. In the form of that the avidya expresses in your mind and intellect in antakarana as so many bhavas, parichinna bhavas, due to avidya. Now ajnanam is what? This is ajnana, parichinnata. Now this has to be removed. Very careful listen. How it is removed? By jnana abhyasat. Okay. Now what is jnana abhyasa? This is the vritti rupi ajnanam. And jnana abhyasa in the first day I told you that it is only atma bodha. Bodha, second bodha is what? That bodha means knowledge created through thought. Vritti only. Vritti jnanam it is. So vritti jnanam is created to remove the avidya. Ajnana, sorry, ajnana. So when all the contrary thoughts what we have been entertaining, in fact I am unlimited, I am limited, I am anandaha, I am sorrowful. See, I am all pervading, I am only limitedly limited pervasiveness is there. So these are contrary ideas. All avidya only, ajnana only. Avidya के कारण और अज्ञान के कारण ऐसा भाव. So ज्ञान अभ्यासात विनिर्मलम. So beautiful. Now what is jnana abhyasa? By practice of knowledge. Shastras explain jnana abhyasa in Yoga Vasishta it comes, in Panchadashi also it comes. The sloka so beautifully says, Tat chintanam, tat kathanam, anyonya tat prabodhanam, yetadeka paratvam cha brahmabhyasam vidurbhudaha. Jnanabhyasam, brahmabhyasam, all are same. Buddhaha viduhu. The wise people know it to be. What is that? Jnana abhyasa, practice of knowledge. What do you mean by practice of knowledge? Tat chintanam, first one. Chintanam, contemplating, thinking only on that and that and that alone. I give an example. And this example I have given in ashram many times in our talks here. What is that example? That when I am traveling in a train, a long journey, suppose Delhi to I am going to Trivandrum, Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala. A long train journey is there. When I am traveling such a long distance, say for example, an example extending, not a fast train, super fast train. It may be for 30, 40, 50 years back trains. Speed is not more than 60 kilometers per hour. Imagine. It's a long journey. Maybe 4 days, 5 days, I don't know. Example, 4 days. No, such a long journey when you board the train, I tell you, at any given moment, passenger will never forget his destination. He may come across many stations, he may get down onto the platform, he may purchase some eatables or newspaper or magazines or a water bottle or no water bottle 40 years before. Anyway, whatever it is, you may purchase anything, you may talk to people, you may fight with the co-passengers or befriend with them, or even in the night, if somebody suddenly wakes you up from your berth and says, "Kahan jana hai?" without any doubt, Trivandrum. Think about it. That means the thought that I am going to Trivandrum, I may eat in the train, I must eat, of course, I take food, I sleep, I talk, I do all transactions, vyavahar. But in and through all this, my goal of this destination, that is Trivandrum or Thiruvananthapuram, is never forgotten. So I'm always constantly thinking, as soon as I get down, who will come to receive me at the station, or how will I go? I think there's a beautiful, we are meeting my relatives after a long time, my brothers and sisters. I think it's a great gathering. It's going to be there. It's very nice. So all that entire chintanam, similarly, in and through all our samsarik vyavahar, I should not forget that my own enlightenment is the purpose of my life. As per destiny, one may have married, one may not have married, one may have children, may not have children, own house, no own house, own car, no car, healthy body, may not be so healthy body, troubling relatives and family members, or may not be troubling and friendly, when family members are not troubling but they are friendly. Some are conducive, some are non-conducive or unconducive atmosphere. Whatever it is, in and through life, so many challenges we go through. In and through things, my destination is Paramatma. My goal is self-realization. That is called Tat Chintanam. But destiny, as per destiny, it goes on. That doesn't matter. The goal is never forgotten. Tat Chintanam. Next is Tat Kathanam. Even if you want to speak, even somebody is diverting you the topic to unnecessary issues, Gently bring back and only talk about that goal, about that purpose of human life. So share your divine thoughts, speak about divinity with others around you. They may try to take you deviate. Act as though you are responding to them. If it's a genuine problem, sincerely respond. But to wake them up from the problems again, speak truth alone, about the truth, about the truth, about the truth. Tat kathanam. Anyonya tat prabodhanam. If there is somebody like-minded has come, if they are interested in discussion, or look up for opportunities to discuss about this particular subject, divinity. Like so many friends, military people, army people, they meet. Why? They talk about army. Maja aega, let us talk about army issues, details of your career and my career. Let us just discuss. Two doctors speak about medicines. Similarly, two spiritual seekers to try to meet and discuss अन्योन्य तत् प्रबोधनम एतद एक परत्वम च एतद एक परत्वम single pointed dedication to the goal एक परत्वम च ब्रह्माभ्यासम विदुर्बुधाः that is called brahmabhyasam. This is known as brahmabhyasa to the all wise people. So jnanabhyasa. So what is another meaning of Jnanabhyasam? This is one meaning of Jnanabhyasam. Another meaning is Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. What is Shravanam? Shravanam is Vedantanam Tatparya Nirnayaha. It is said. What is that Shravanam? You listen and extracting the essential teachings of Vedanta. By Shravanam, what exactly is to that you are trying to take the Sara Grahanam through Shravanam. Like Gurudev used to say, that many times stories and jokes are remembered, but the purpose for which they are told are forgotten. So somebody would say, what did Swami Chinmayananji say today? They are full of jokes. Jokes I repeat. But why the jokes are meant for, what exactly they indicate, that I forgot. It should not be. So Shravanam is extracting the Vedanta Sara. Guru Mukataha, sitting before a teacher. Shravanam. Mananam is what? Yuktitaha Chintanam. Bring logic, bring reasoning to support your thinking, your mananam, your reflection. Yuktitaha Chintanam and Nididhyasanam is internalizing the Didhyasa by reading, by writing, by talking, by thinking continuously. Either this is secondary Nididhyasanam or formally you sit there and meditate. Like in the 6th chapter of Gita, Bhagavan gave meditation techniques. You meditate on that Supreme Brahman. That becomes Brahmabhyasa. Gurudev gave in his commentary, in Atmabodha commentary, Jnanabhyasa means meditation practice only. And Puja Gurudev, always he would say that meditate, 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 and meditate, and meditate. He would say never miss meditation. Even in train journeys, flight you can do easily. Train also, never miss meditation, he would say. I must tune. Daily jog to Jagadishwara, he would say. Daily jogging, daily jog to Jagadishwara. In our Bombay Sandipani Ashram, they literally jog to Jagadishwara, physically. From their rooms, somewhere in the Brahmachari quarters inside, from there to the temple on the hillock, within the same compound. So every day they jog, literally. Some people they walk, they jog up to the climb up the hill, come back, make 3, 4, 5 checker rounds. Physically also jog to Jagadishwara. So Gurudev meditate. Nididhyasana. So therefore Jnana Abhyasa. Now Jnana Abhyasam, the technical sloka it is. So I may have to extend for tomorrow also this explanation. Doesn't matter. So Ajnana Kalusham Jivam This jiva who is muddied, sullied with this kind of ajnana, Gurudev says defiled by ignorance, ajnana kalusham jivam. How did he become pure? Or how does he become pure? Jnana abhyasat vinirmalam. Extremely becomes pure. What do you mean by pure? Purity means what? There is no raga and dvesha towards anything in the creation. No biasness, no bias, no leaning towards this or that. Udasinavat charati. Yeah, udasina, rising above, standing above. So therefore, there is no raga dvesha, mind becomes purer and purer. So lesser raga dvesha, mind is more purer. No raga dvesha, mind is 100% pure. So when you become vinirmalam, so therefore now listen, ajnana vritti is there. Very careful now, please listen very carefully. Ajnana vritti is there. Parichinna bhav is there. So how does I remove that parichinnata? By bringing Shastra. Shastra tells me, wakes me up to my essential nature. You are not the body. You are not the mind. Actually, in Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji, in Taittiriya Upanishad Bhashya, somewhere he says that Panchamahabhuta, sorry, this Panchakosha is Kalpana eva, he says. It's only Kalpitam. That's how everything is Maya. Even your Panchamahabhutas, the Sharira you have, it's a Kalpana. We cannot go so high because we are firmly rooted in the body consciousness. So jnana abhyasat vinirmalam krutva, having become pure, vinirmalam krutva, jnanam swayam nashyet. Now see, ajnana vritti is there, jnana vritti is brought. So with ajnana vritti is removed by jnana vritti, by jnana abhyasa. Then what happens? Here a lot of people say, okay, but even ajnanam is removed, ajnanam is annihilated because of jnana vritti. But some people say, see, still there is dvaitam. How swayam prakasha atma is there already. Then you generated jnana vritti to remove ajnana vritti. So jnana vritti has to exist. So jnana vritti is there, swayam prakasha atma is there. There is duality. See, so therefore, one is Swarupa Jnanam is there, second Vritti Jnanam is there, Brahmabhyasa ke dwara, Vritti Jnanam is there, Swarupa Jnanam is there, Vritti Jnanam is necessary, the thoughts, Vritti Jnanam, the knowledge generated through thoughts are essential to remove the negative thoughts or Ajnana Vritti. Ajnana is removed, ignorance is removed. So this is, there is Vritti Jnanam and Swarupa Jnanam. Swarupa Jnanam, Vritti Jnanam, Dvaitam. There is still duality. Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Bhaiya, Vritti Jnanam removes Ajnanam. There is no doubt about it. And after removing the Ajnanam by the Vritti Jnanam doesn't stay. It also goes away. Vritti Jnanam purpose is what? It arrives, removes the Ajnanam, and this Vritti Jnanam also doesn't exist. It goes away. There's no thought, because thought knowledge cannot illumine the self. So Vritti Jnanam purpose is what? To remove Ajnana. Vritti Jnanam is Akanda Brahmakara Vritti, will remove the ignorance, and it remains only for Kshanam. Akanda Brahmakara Vritti created, it remains only for Kshanakala. For a moment, it destroys the ignorance, and thereafter both disappear. Then what remains is I as Purna Aham. Avidya is gone. So once Ajnanam is destroyed, thereafterwards the Vritti Jnanam is not necessary. There is no need for Vritti Jnanam. Like a Mahatma gives an example that, so to understand 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, to arrive at a 4 number, suppose I have given an understanding 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. So this 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. But once I reach and understand it is 4, the process called 2 plus 2 doesn't exist in my mind. It disappears. You know one thing? All that, whatever we have learned in life, mathematics, physics, chemistry and all, essentials are remembered, examples and stories through which they are conveyed are forgotten. We have read so many stories. Essence is grasped. So many mathematical problems we solved. When you were studying third standard, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, all that forgotten. But addition, subtracting, multiplication, etc., 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 this is remembered. So vritti aspects are forgotten, jnanam remain. There is no need afterwards. After vritti jnanam goes, after ajnana goes, vritti jnanam, the process, the entire thing is not required. Vritti jnanam also disappears. The fourth thing. So we need not continue the vritti as 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. That vritti jnanam is no more required. So once ignorance is gone, the thought also is gone. So, therefore, here example is given. Now see the sloka. He says, Vinirmalam krutva jnanam swayam nashyet. That jnanam is destroyed. Which jnanam? Vritti jnanam swayam nashyet. It gets destroyed by itself. It doesn't exist. So entire the Akhanda Brahmakara vritti, to create that vritti only, purification, Sravanam, Mananam, Nidadhyasanam, that is listening to teacher, reflecting upon that, meditation. Then sometimes after long practice, Akhanda Brahmakara vritti created, it remains for one moment, it removes the ignorance. Suddenly we feel, I am Purna Brahma. No more I am an individual. That is called awakening. That is called realization. That is called enlightenment. That is called mukti. That is called moksha. That's called freedom from samsara. And this is the only way. The ignorance is destroyed. Keeping the jiva intact, jivahood intact, whatever we do, bhajan, kirtan, sankirtan, karma, kriya, anything you do, because the individual jiva is intact, he will have gati, movement in the universe, in the loka, between lokas. He will never be awakened. Iti Vedanta Dindimaha. This is a final declaration of Vedanta. Therefore, once this, through jnana abhyasa, this vritti jnanam destroys the avidya, that afterward the jnanam nashyet, swayam nashyet, that the knowledge also gets destroyed. That knowledge which is vritti jnanam is destroyed, disappears. How? A beautiful example is given by Shankaracharya. What is there? Jalam katakarenuvat. This example. How this vritti jnanam also goes away after removing the avidya. I hope you are all understanding. In a classroom, I would have got response, but here I can't get, and I don't want also your response. But then, how the example is given? Katakarenuvat. In olden days, in especially rainy season, all the time also it is used. When they get water from the river, drinking water from the well, and because of the mud, so the muddy water is collected. It may have a lot of dust suspended in the water. Now, how to drink that water? So there is a nut, kataka nut. Kataka nut is there. Kataka nut. That nut powdered. That powdered nut powder. Gurudev beautifully explains this example. It is just beautifully sprinkled in the pot on the surface of the water. Everywhere. Thickly it is spread. When it is spread, the Kataka Renu, when it is spread, it forms a thick layer. And that thick layer, what does it do? It will absorb all the dust and slowly settles down as a layer, absorbing the dust particles suspended in the water, and the layer goes down and down and down and ultimately settles at the bottom and leaving all the pure water above. Now, what is the Katakarenu Vrittignanam? Knowledge. What is the, I'll take 1 minute more, 12:15 now. Knowledge is Vrittignanam, Katakarenu. Avidya, Ajnanam, all that's Kalushitam, Ajnana Kalushitam Jivam. What is that? The dust particles. So when the nut powder, the nut Katakarenu, the powder, it is removing the Jnanam, it is Jnana Vritti. Jnana Vritti dissolves all the Jnana dust particles, and it also goes down and both disappear. There afterwards, there's no need of that layer. The layer has served its purpose and settled in the bottom, meaning it is redundant, leaving the pure water alone. Similarly, Vrittignanam comes, removes the ignorance, and the Vritti also disappears, the Jnanam also disappears. Akanda Brahmakara Vritti is created by tapasya, and that Vritti, in for a second, it like for Kshana, it will remove the avidya, then afterwards it also disappears, because what happens when the Vritti, what is the Vritti does? It illumines an object. Akanda Brahmakara Vritti, Ajnana is removed, and immediately Ajnana is removed. This Pratibimba Chaitanyam also, there is no need to maintain, it merges itself. The Vritti aspect also dissolved, and what remains is self existence. That is pure self prakashate. It shines in its own glory. This is the sadhana for Jiva. Simple. Through Jnanabhyasa, become purer and purer, and after a long time of sadhana, Sravanamana Nididhyasana, Brahmakara Vritti, Akanda Brahmakara Vritti is created, that will destroy the ignorance. Thereafter, the Vritti also disappears, and what remains is Swayam Prakasha. So, this is how the process of knowledge, Jnanam, Vritti Jnanam, is beautifully explained by Bhagavan Shankaracharya. So, thank you very much. And thank you for giving me 2-3 minutes extra time today. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.